call the meeting to order.
Okay, Tom, you're on? We're on.
All right, let me call this meeting to order of the Riverhead Industrial Development Agency. It's 5 after 5. And first, I'd like to consider the proposed agenda, which you all should have in front of you. So, I'd like to vote on that.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
No.
No?
Are all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The proposed agenda is accepted.
Chairman, excuse me. I just want to make a note that we have board member Bob Kern attending the meeting by Zoom. Is he here?
Yep.
Yes.
And Dick Ayler is our counsel by Zoom as well.
Here it comes, it's popped up. Okay. All right, thanks. The next item, I need a motion to consider the minutes of the March 1st meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Okay,
I'll
second,
second.
any discussion?
No.
Any questions?
No.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The March 1 meeting minutes are accepted. Correspondence, ED,
None, sir.
okay. Committee reports, audit report, none.
No, we do have a report.
Oh, okay, I got it. Who's gonna do that?
I can do it.
It'd probably be best because it's rather involved in a sort of.
I'll compress
Finally
it.
come together, right?
Right.
The pilot thing?
This is the audit committee report.
Okay.
Everybody ready?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay. The audit committee met virtually on March 17th with our auditors from Jones and Little. They presented the audit for the year, and they also noted that they met the requirement of the 5-year rotation of lead auditors by using Kathy Galloway, who's a partner of the firm. They also noted at that time that the ABO had extended the deadline for the submission of Paris, but of course that's March 17th that they do that. So we are prepared to submit on time on the 31st, should the board approve the Paris submission today.
31st of this month?
Correct. They issued 3 opinions. All opinions were clean. Page 1 is a clean opinion, but there was one paragraph that was added, and it's in reference to the agency continuing as a going concern. We had no new fixed assets this year. The cash was down, receivables were up, and accounts payables were flat. The revenues were actually pretty in line with last year, but there were no closings in 2020. The net loss was about $97,000, which is fairly close to last year. The reduction in the agency expenses offset the increase, which was largely due to the New York State retirement expense. The other thing new in the audit was the COVID paragraph and in the subsequent events section in their notes. The audit committee reviewed any concerns, and they voted to recommend the full board adopt the audit as presented. And that was it.
Any questions? Any additions?
That's pretty much covers everything, right? Those who were present at the audit committee?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And the completion of that report came out extremely well, I would say,
Oh,
and I hope you agree.
I wanted to explain it, the
Right.
entire audit to those who were not present. particularly with regard to the New York State retirement, which throws our whole balance sheet off. But note that the agency, even though we had to record an additional $17,000, it's not a figure that we have to maintain a compensating balance for going forward. It sort of disappears until next year when the actuaries create their numbers.
Or shave it, hopefully.
Right. So, it was actually a very good explanation during the meeting, so I pretty much,
Well,
It's just a
you know
magical
why,
number.
don't you?
it's a magical number, yes.
Just those.
All right, well, that's good to hear, I must say. All right, so the audit report is done.
That's correct.
Need a motion?
You do not,
I
but
don't.
if you want to
Okay.
adopt the report, you could.
No, I think we've spent enough time on the report for the last 3 weeks, and it's a good one. Governance meeting?
Yes.
Do that now?
Right,
Yes.
so I guess I'll make a motion to recess the IDA board meeting for the purposes of going into a governance
Good.
committee meeting.
So we'll
I'll
do that at
second.
5:10.
Okay, at 5:10, copy.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
So what do we do now?
now we need a
So
motion.
now you open a governance committee meeting.
I'll make a
Lori is
motion to
chair.
open the governance committee meeting.
Everybody on Zoom was watching governance committee?
I'm sorry?
Is everyone on Zoom privy to governance committee?
No, the governance committee, the
Governance
three of
committee
us.
is
No, but we're still on Zoom, right?
Yes.
Is
Okay.
that still supposed to be recorded?
Oh, I see, okay, I got you, all right.
Yes.
Yep.
Bob, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
What
And make
popped up
sure
again?
that you note that, you vote loudly.
Yeah, I did. I'm putting my hand up for a yes vote when I vote.
Are you standing on anything?
There he is.
I will. I'm standing on phone books.
Yeah,
Funny.
I didn't mean that way. I got it.
Okay, so I made a motion to open
Right,
the,
Lori motioned to open and Anthony
Second.
seconded at 5:11.
okay, great. So the first order of business for the governance committee is the Paris review. Everyone had received by email the Paris report, which is our annual report to New York State with regard to our operations and our projects, our ongoing projects. Did anybody have any questions or concerns about the report? What we need to do is make a recommendation to the full board to adopt the report and authorize submission.
Correct. And just for clarification for the public's benefit, this is to recommend the submission of the draft report, but the governance committee over the next couple months will review any projects that seem to have come under their requirements or not met their obligations. Regardless of whether they did or they didn't, these numbers remain the same in the Paris. It doesn't change how the Paris is submitted. What we do as far as compliance going forward is up to the board's review of the projects.
Right.
Based on this report.
Okay. So
Anything else?
Did anybody have any questions or concerns they wanted to raise? I had some questions. They're minor.
Go right ahead.
It had to do with the question of the service of the board members, us, on the authority. And it says at the pleasure of the authority. I thought it maybe should say the pleasure of the town board. We're appointed by the town board, not by the
So some of
agency.
these are just check boxes,
Okay.
and that's written in, right?
It's written in.
Yeah,
Well, that's interesting, I read the authority to mean that the town board is the.
yeah, they're our govening authority.
Okay, so that's what the question was. It sounded
Correct.
like
It does, we're the
that you were
authority, right.
referencing our own authority, you know,
Yeah,
or,
I know, yeah.
okay,
And they give you stock answers as well.
okay. And then your employment status as an exempt employee? I thought that you would be an exempt employee, a salaried,
Are
you
you on
know,
the IDA report?
administrator. Yes.
Exempt.
You may
So
just,
Denise fills out my section, I just didn't need to read it,
okay.
and I lost my glasses, so.
And then the only other one I had was with respect to the Browning Hotel Phase 1 project. It shows 0 jobs, and I wasn't sure if it was because their project period had ended already. And if that's the case, which it seemed to be, then why, I'm wondering why they're being included in the report in the first place.
So they're eliminated this year,
Okay,
but they still print them out in the report. So if you notice at the end of the cards, the project cards, there's 4 questions. I don't know if you see them in this. Hold on, I'm looking at the wrong one. And I fixed your typo. So at the end of the project card, there's 4 questions.
right,
And they ask, is it the current year, the last reporting year? Is there debt outstanding? Does the IDA hold title? Does the project receive tax exemptions? So it's kind of odd because usually in the last year they have received an exemption. So the question, I just mark it yes, but you have to mark all 4 yes for the card to be eliminated.
okay,
So Browning was, phase 1 is marked all 4 yes this year. They actually should have been eliminated last year. And when the ABO did their review of us, that was one of the items that I answered to them. I will eliminate them this year, and they were okay with that.
okay,
So, and just for future reference, you may have another phased project in the reports. They may have 2 cards, and in the card, there's a notation area, notes.
right,
You'll see that I usually put all jobs reported on phase 2.
right,
Or all exemptions reported on phase 2. But the way the system is put in, it's difficult to manage these cards. So I'm constantly calling saying, okay, what do I do for this project? So they say either leave the 2 cards or eliminate cards. When they both have pilots on the phase, sometimes you have to keep both in, but only one of them gets the jobs.
I
So-
gotcha, okay.
But good question. And then back to me. You know what page that, oh, you don't have it on.
It's at the beginning when
Yeah.
everyone is listed, when all the board members and then you as the executive director are listed.
I got me.
And again, it may be that the definition in the
Right.
New York State system is such that you were required to answer in that way, but it just,
I don't know what the question is,
Okay,
but I
yeah.
will check with Denise
Okay.
to make sure that it's answered properly.
okay,
I have her do mine because that, it just, it's appropriate.
That's all we need to do, right? Make sure that it's answered correctly or
Yes.
Yeah.
eliminated the next time.
Yeah, but I'm
Okay.
sure she probably, we can carry these forward, so I'm sure she just carries the answers forward.
right.
But I'll double check.
Is that good? Good
But
Lori?
nothing
Good with you?
material, it's just a you know, it
Yeah, no, these are
was a
good.
question. I had.
Appreciate your doing that.
So if there's no other concerns about the Paris at the governance committee level, if someone will make a motion to approve and recommend its,
I will make that motion.
okay,
I will
Tom?
recommend.
Second?
Second.
Tom, can you second that?
Bob,
Tom, will you
This
second
is
that?
a governance committee
It's
meeting?
governance committee, yep,
Sure.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
I was listening to all the other people doing that.
The second item is the late pilot fee waiver review, if you want to go
Sure.
over that, Tracy.
So, there was a late pilot submission by one of our clients, and, I think I put in your packet,
Yes, we
a
have.
timeline. I unfortunately didn't think about doing that for you until today. But it explains the timeline of when the pilot was sent, that a reminder was sent. There was some confusion between the submitting the compliance report and the pilot. There was some confusion in reading the pilot statement. They paid the tax bill and thought that's all they had to do. They just thought the worksheet was a worksheet. I continued to send reminders. They did eventually pay it, and they additionally sent a request for leniency on the fee waiver. If you saw the letter in your packet, the agency is not allowed to alleviate the general municipal law penalties. You have the option of reducing or waiving the agency fee. So that is what the governance committee needs to discuss, consider, and recommend to the board. And we could do a resolution based on your recommendation at the next meeting on Monday.
Okay, very good.
So I think I included the bill as well in your packet. Yes.
And it was, so it was staff turnover was an issue,
Staff
and this
turnover was an issue.
confusion about
Confusion
the,
of the timing of the compliance reports and the pilot.
right,
And, but I do send, I was sending reminders, I was sending the letter. I mean, someone, and then there was also change of address of the headquarters. They sold the building. So the originally certified mail was delayed in getting to them.
Let me ask you this,
Yes.
when you're ready. This seems unusual that we're having this seemingly errors compared to past years. Is that true?
For this applicant,
It's just one applicant.
that's correct.
We're not going any further.
right. This isn't a consistent or a pattern
No,
of
no.
delay or
Okay.
anything like
That's all I
that.
really want to know, thank you.
Does seem to, there's extenuating circumstances.
So, and the penalties are rather high. They're
They're very
consistent with,
substantial.
they're consistent with the state and municipality, late fees. So, the only fee you can alleviate is the Riverhead IDA fee, if you so choose.
Yeah, I want to find the amounts again.
It's in the very second to last page, is the invoice,
The fee was something like over $9,000.
1,000.
9,000.
Oh, the overall fee?
The overall is, yeah.
Tracy, how many hours have you put into this? Seriously, when you started thinking about the amount of hours you put into it.
Right.
I know they had issues. I can
It
get that.
takes time. This is just one of them,
We're looking for a waiver of what amount then?
of the $1,000.
Just 1,000. The 4,400 is still
Yeah,
due.
Oh, there it is.
You know, we continually waive some of these fees, and I just think about the number of hours that you put into this. They messed up, they should have been on top of this. I don't think we should be penalized and pay you a salary because they messed up.
Point well taken.
Okay, did you want to make a motion to that effect, Tony?
I will make a motion that we will keep the $1,000 administrative fee in the penalty phase.
Is there a
I'll second
second?
it.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, any discussion? Okay.
I'm fine with that.
You
All
got the
those in
motion?
favor?
All those in favor?
Aye. Okay. So the fee stays.
Good, thank you.
And finally, we have annual report reviews. There are two reports that were not a part of our overall approval last time, and that is the disposition of real property report and the procurement policy report. These are annual reports that we have to adopt. There were no discussions or actually, I should ask, if there are any further amendments that anybody wants to make. These again, we adopt them annually. And if there's anything that anyone has a concern about within these two reports, now
But
would be the
The
time.
procurement report was not in your last meeting because it gets done within the Paris, and I included it in your packet, and the disposition of real property is part of the audit, so, that was not done at that time either, so.
Okay.
So what's your recommendation?
I
Where
recommend that
we are,
you
where we're
approve them.
going on this?
Uh,
Is it time to vote?
Really, we had no property, so, yeah.
Right, we have no real property.
And,
Yeah.
And
We've made changes to the procurement policy
That's
in like
recently.
maybe 2 years ago,
Right.
to, adjust for ongoing operations. So if there's a motion to adopt and recommend adoption of these reports to the full board for their
I will
consideration.
make that recommendation.
Thank you.
Second? Tom, you
All those
second?
in favor? Oh, you want me
All
to
those
second
in
it?
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Tom second.
Okay. That's it. Are there any other agenda items, Tracy?
No,
that-
ma'am.
No? Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn the governance
I
committee
will make
meeting?
a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those
Tom?
in favor, aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We're done at
5:25.
5:25. Excuse me.
Thanks, Lori.
Okay.
Lots of ground covered quickly. That's very good. But you're usually, that's what you do. Finance committee meeting, you having any? No, it says no, excuse me.
No, sir.
That's on next Monday.
You have to
Yeah.
make a motion to open?
I'm sorry?
You have to make a motion to open?
Yes.
Go back, yes.
I will make that motion to
Thank you.
reopen the meeting.
Second?
At 5:25.
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. And now, we have another motion. We gotta go back to the IDA meeting. Can I have a motion to do that?
No, you
No,
just,
that's what we just did.
yeah, you just opened.
When did we close the other one?
You were sleeping.
I don't sleep. Not until the meeting is over.
We closed the governance committee. We
Okay.
just opened up the regular board meeting, and we are now on old business.
All right. All right, consideration of officers. That's in here under 15-21.
Yes.
I'll make the motion.
I will second.
Any discussion? I don't know what I did, but I haven't found it. Is it in here?
Yes. You have a lot of papers today.
1521.
Yeah.
It's not in that one, Tom.
All right. I must have another one then, right?
Do you want mine, Tom?
I want to make sure. Yeah, thank you.
Does he have the rest of the resolution, sir?
Mhm.
Okay.
This is 1521,
That's
Yes.
correct.
so we're voting on the new members?
New officers.
New officers.
That's what I mean, excuse me. All right, does anyone,
We have a motion and a second, if there's any.
is there any discussion on this?
Well, I, for one, would like to say thank you so much for your service as chair. As you step down, Tom, you've been an amazing asset to this organization. And we
Thank
all
you.
appreciate your commitment, your dedication, and your professionalism in leading us for the last,
Thank you, that's not what I was
11
looking
years.
for.
well,
I mean, it's fine, thank you, it's very, very appreciated. But, I had the impression this was a two-part deal here. And,
The committees is the next resolution.
what's that?
The committees,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the next resolution.
next resolution.
all right. So with that in mind, we still need to say yes or no, right?
That's
Yeah.
correct. We
All
still
those
need
in
to vote.
favor, aye, and
Aye.
Aye.
feel free to ask questions. Okay.
Do we get an eye from Bob?
You there?
Bob, you still with us?
I think he disappeared.
Where is
I'm
the,
here. Can you hear me? I'm driving. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
don't say anything.
Gosh,
Don't look at
Okay.
any papers. So
Check.
where are we on this?
1621.
Here you go,
One
Tom.
moment, sir, I just want to register Bob's vote. Bob, you're in approval of Resolution 1521, the new slate of officers?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
What's the next one?
Oh. Thank,
And if you need to
Oh, I
sign
didn't
off,
think I
just let me know that you're going to leave the
thank you, I
meeting.
appreciate it.
You got it.
I will.
Okay.
I just would like, can I make a comment to Tom?
Yes?
Tom, I really appreciate your leadership and everything I've learned from you with the IDA.
Well, it's certainly been my pleasure. The group that we have assembled has been around generally for a long time, because you don't leave and you're really good. And I think we accomplish the things that we're supposed to accomplish as part of our positions are done well. They're done with a lot of discussion. Some is not, we don't rubber stamp. We need a lot of mileage out of this before we want to say, okay, yes, or need more information, or whatever it may be. And that's always been a good thing for me, and hopefully the rest of you. I've certainly enjoyed working with you, but after my 10 to 11 years, it truly is time to get some of the other talent that we have here. And in my opinion, you picked a good one with Jim Farley. So let's go on to the next one, which is this one here, is that right?
Well, before you do, I was going to say something after the meeting, but since everybody's saying something, if I could, I just want to say I truly appreciate the guidance that you've given me. When needed, you also offered a firm hand. And when I would get bogged down in minutia, you would clear the path. I'm blessed to have a tremendous board that's engaged and truly cares about the community overall.
Engaged, thank you. That's
Very,
an
very
excellent point
lucky.
for this group.
For the dedication here. And under your tutelage, I just want to say and remind you that we authorized one of the largest and most controversial projects in the IDA history. And we underwent significant legislative changes that they didn't have so much reporting and changing of the legislation and requirements as we do every year with the legislature in Albany. And you kept pace and you kept us on it, and I think you were a tremendous blessing to this board, and as my chairman, I learned a great deal. You are amazingly professional and far beyond me. And I also look forward to Jim's guidance in the future and welcome learning some more. But thank you so much for your dedication for the past 11 years. And I'm glad to know that you are going to stay with us
Yes.
so that I can continue to learn.
and I think that's a very important point.
Yes.
Yeah, well, thanks for bringing it up, because I was gonna do that also.
Oh, okay.
I'm staying, not because you all can't handle it. Jim Farley can't handle it, he doesn't even have a handheld. But I represent a long time person who's been here and knows an awful lot about this organization. Instead of for new people, because that's what I did when I came here. I didn't think of doing too much of this. The ones that I did say, they didn't know either, really. So, but that's a long time ago. So yes, I enjoy this so much that I didn't want to give it, so I said, if I'm allowed to, I'll stay as a member. And I guess I have nobody that want me to do that. And I'll play it along until I can get a whiff that people are getting tired of you. No.
Never. Thank you.
So anyway. All right, well, that's where we're headed. And you're, that puts you in charge at our next meeting.
That's correct.
All right,
Lucky you.
we'll see. Yeah.
Well, I'm delighted. In fact, any one of you would have made me very happy because they know the caliber that you are and the fact that you know a lot about this organization, so. With that, that's enough and we should move on. Jim, you and I will just get together and chat, assuming they say okay. I don't know if they're gonna do that.
The fair point.
So what's next? We sign this?
We don't.
1621.
Okay. Didn't we finish 1521 or?
1521, yeah, and because of 1521, we now need to do 1621, which
Yeah.
reassigns the committees.
Okay.
I'll make the motion for
Thank you.
1621.
I'll second.
All right. Any questions? Any advice? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody else? Okay.
Okay, at this moment, I just want to note that Bob Kern has left the meeting at 5:35. He's been disconnected, and he's off to another meeting.
Okay. Oh, you're not sitting under the,
Right.
okay. Well, Bob, you're a busy guy. May it go well. That's
Okay.
done.
This is a new one, isn't it? 1720, it's not on the agenda,
It's
is it?
not on the agenda, 1720.
Or is that a typo somewhere or the other?
I don't have any on the agenda?
Well, actually, this should be 1721, right?
Oh, yeah, 1721, sorry, that's a typo. Oh, I hope it gets sent to the right one.
It's not on the agenda, Tony, you're right. I don't think. Oh,
Really?
no, it is, sorry.
Yeah.
sorry, sorry.
It is.
I'm sorry, my number's confused. Okay.
I don't know where my agenda is. Well, Tracy, what is that one while I look for this?
Want me to see if I can find it?
Yeah, I'm looking at this file here.
I know, well,
My
there's two
fault.
different files.
I have another packet here, too.
I got my own file, which I better get out of the way or that'll
This is you?
disappear into the world.
Yeah. Oh, that's the governance.
Yeah, they're all for sign.
Oh, that's for
Here, Laura.
signing.
Here's a brand new packet.
Okay. Here you go. Thank you.
Let me give this back to you, Chris. All right, so we're on to new business.
Correct.
Consideration of annual audit policies and reports, 17-21.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. A
I will
second?
second.
All right. Would you like to talk on this?
This is
It's
our,
time to do this.
the authorization for our annual reports, policies, all recommended for approval and authorization by the appropriate committees, as well as our audit report.
We need a motion made
Yep, and seconded.
and seconded. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, then that's passed. And under new business, the second one is consideration of Paris report, number 1821.
I'll make the motion.
And again, there's a typo.
Is it,
The number.
It's the number 2021.
oh,
Okay,
so it's done in the body. Okay.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Everybody's had an opportunity to digest it and all that sort of thing. It's now moved, it's actually the same date, the last day of the month.
Yes,
Let's do that.
March 31st every year.
Well, what am I missing? I thought it was pushed.
It was extended. If we needed the extra time, they extended it 60 days, but we don't need the extra time.
No, and that's always a good time to just do it. and
I just
move
want
on.
to get it done.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
So all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's picked. And now, consideration of Georgia Green, authorization of infrastructure subsidy 1921. Can we
So-
get, Dick, can you, give us a little synopsis on this?
So I think we have Mr. Gallo on the line as well to answer questions.
Good.
Basically, this involves a reallocation of some previous county loans and a new county loan regarding sewer infrastructure. The sewer infrastructure loan is tied to handicap apartment requirements, which Mr. Gallo can discuss more fully. So there are approvals within the existing budget. They're confirming that the $57,072,763,000 budget that they brought to you originally in 2017 is in fact still the appropriate budget. And within that, there were two county loans, totaling $3 million, which were to be $2,100,000 and $900,000, which have been reallocated to $500,000 and $2,500,000 to create the total of the three. There's also a state loan, which was $225,000, which has been increased to $250,000, and the new $500,000 loan. But again, it's all within the amount of the public hearings. So as far as the agency's obligation to hold any hearings on this determination, there is no requirement for any additional hearings because it's all within the same budget that you previously had your hearings regarding. There's a request for mortgage recording tax. They have not used the mortgage recording tax. It will be used in this case, so they're well under the allocation within the $57 million possibility of total mortgage recording tax. So I don't know if Mr. Gallo would like to add anything to that.
I would just like to make note that Dave Gallo is with us virtually, Matt Ardito, I hope I said that right, Connie Lissandro and Lindsay Kelly, all from Georgia Green.
Great.
Dave, are you speaking or do you have someone else doing a presentation? Okay, you are on mute, Dave. You need to unmute yourself.
It's like all the time. All right, so good to see everybody. I think Dick did a great job of just giving the overview. I don't really have a lot to say other than it's great to see everybody. And, if you have any more specific questions relating to this, we're here. We brought the full house of GGV, but I think Dick did a nice job. And, I can never thank the board enough. I can never thank Tracy enough. We're doing, the best that we can, and we're going to continue to try to, delivering a great project for the long haul in downtown.
Anybody wanna?
Has anybody been to Peconic County Brewery yet?
Not in, I
No,
I
The
have.
food is wonderful.
The pretzel is phenomenal. Tim,
Yes.
have you been?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
We sampled quite a bit before we signed the lease as well, so we weren't going to make any. Connie and I were just talking about it. We were really happy that, no one had asked us to design the building, to have retail on the back, and we've always said we think one of the major strengths is this beautiful river. And, some had questioned whether or not putting 4,600 square feet of retail on the back of a building made any sense at all. But we're thrilled with what Jeff has done. We're thrilled with, the beer that he's brewing, and the food is excellent as well. So we're happy that was a design decision that we had made years ago and presented to all of you, years ago. So.
Years ago.
It's a great space.
That's, definitely have more gray hair.
I'll make the motion to approve the resolution 1921.
I will second it.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Dave, we're happy.
Excellent.
hope you're
That makes me
happy.
happy. We are happy, and we've got, you know, I want to continue, you know, leasing the front of, you know, Main Street and finding, you know, we think we have a tenant that we're actually going to be presenting to the IDA. So very soon we'll have a package. Lindsay will be, I think we're fairly close to having the initial offer reviewed, and we know before we go much further, we have to put it in front of you guys. So we're gonna get that over, but we think we've got a really solid tenant there, so that'll round out Main Street and McDermott. So we are
Terrific.
happy.
Great.
Thanks for sitting through the meeting, and you are free to go.
All right, thanks for having us. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Best wishes. Best wishes.
Yep, thank you. You too.
Okay. That's great. Anybody else been to that, new brewery?
I have been, just briefly, and I had the pretzel, and it's, oh my God, it's so good.
The shrimp was
It's
amazing.
this big.
Yeah, I know that.
I know, I saw. Yeah, it's good.
You get a great view. It's high enough so that you're over what little parking lot is still there. You can see over to the river.
Yeah.
And they have a great deal of a VIP membership. I think it's $100, and you get a free beer every Friday. Sounds wearing a T-shirt.
When did they open?
Like a
Probably
few
a
weeks
month
ago.
or-
It was
a month or
freezing, and
so.
people were outside every weekend, sitting
Really?
by the little fire pits out the back.
Wow.
I was shocked. He had trouble keeping, you know, he had to maintain a certain capacity, and he had to turn people away.
That's a good
I
sign.
think,
Yes.
we did such a big job with them, and they certainly did a big job. We probably ought to, go look at it, even though some of you have been there, and find a way to do some business that's not, doesn't require the public because it's not public. And, have lunch.
Yes, we could take a tour.
You and I'll set it up, all right?
Sounds
Wait
good.
a minute,
After Lent.
you and Jim.
After lunch.
After Lent,
That's right.
let's almost
It's almost
done.
over.
I'm dry for Lent, so.
Oh, that's why you look, no,
That's why I looked, I didn't go in.
well, good, okay. And, then all I have on here is the executive director report, thank you.
No, I'm not giving one. You'll get one maybe next week,
Okay.
Okay.
Let me ask you this,
if I'm still alive.
what else have we got to do today?
We need to close this meeting and quickly go through the LDC meeting.
Yes, I tried to avoid that. We haven't done any business, have we?
No,
Well, anyway,
no,
okay.
because this was more of a, this meeting is scheduled for the reporting to meet the annual deadlines. Next month is our regular meeting.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Terrific.
Second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned at, 5:50.
5:47.
47, excuse me. All right.
Now, do you have this packet, Tom? Oh, it's right here.
Yeah. Is that mine?
Dick, how was number two?
Anyway, thank you very much.
Okay.
Dick, how was number two?
I'm a little spacey. It's funny to say, you know, it just, but, so far so good.
Good.
They say hydrate, which I've been doing.
Ah,
Yeah, no, it's an emotional relief.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that, that's great.
So if you haven't gotten your shot, I heartily recommend it.
well, I'm working a plan out with the Swiss to go to my son's wedding in Zurich, so we'll have to trade notes on the travel restrictions.
There you go. Yeah, that's the next step is
Yeah.
the country you want to
Stay
go
on
to.
TV, just so you know.
I know.
I didn't know how much you wanted to say. It's okay.
All right.
All right, you want to open the Economic Development Corporation meeting?
Yes, so I need a motion to open.
I move that we open the Economic Development Corporation meeting.
I'll just second.
Okay,
All those
at
in favor, aye?
5:48.
5:48 it is. Well, just tell me if I'm missing something, because I don't know what I did with the agenda, but anyway, we have an agenda?
Yes, we need to adopt the agenda.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to adopt the
All right,
agenda.
second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Great.
We have minutes,
We have minutes from January 4th.
January 4th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you.
I will
Second.
Second.
Okay?
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
You have an audit report under committee reports,
Yes.
which
Cover
Okay.
that, please.
I can give. Again, the audit committee for the Economic Job Development Corporation met on March 17th virtually. The auditors from Jones and Little were present and presented the draft audit to the committee. Again, they noted that they met the requirements of rotating the auditor, lead auditor every 5 years, or the third year. For the third year, they had Kathy Galloway. They reviewed the financials with the committee, noted that this is a pass-through entity and a component unit of the town of Riverhead. There were no audit findings. Cash is the only asset reflected, and it was the same as last year at $250 with the exception of a $3 increase of interest income. And there was no P&L because there was only the $3 of interest income.
Okay.
The footnotes describe what the corporation does. The only change to the notes is the explanation of the COVID impact. And that just noted what happened and what consequences may result in the future. Governance letter, the committee then reviewed the investment report, real property report, and salary and compensation policy. And the committee authorized the recommendation for the full board to adopt all the policies, reports, that were presented to the board, to the committee, and that was it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can we, or do we have to vote on all of the,
You do not.
No.
okay.
But you will recess now the regular meeting for the governance
Governance.
committee meeting.
So I'll make a motion to recess the Economic Job Development Corporation meeting.
Need a second?
Second?
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
That's at
All right, now let's,
5:52,
And I'll make a motion to open the Governance Committee meeting.
okay?
second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're in the,
And Lori is the chair of the governance committee.
So the first item on the agenda is the Paris Review. It reflects the larger Riverhead Industrial Development Agency, less projects, right?
Yes,
There's only
it's
the bonding
only one
projects.
project is the charter school,
Right.
which I would like to note had 81 employees reported.
81 employees at the charter school, okay.
Um,
Did it, go ahead.
But nothing, there was nothing major. During the year, we're doing Paris, I'm thinking audit.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Did anybody have any questions, concerns? Need any additional information on the Paris report for the LDC?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so can I have a motion to recommend to the full board that we adopt and authorize the report for submission?
I will make that recommendation.
Okay,
second?
second? Any
All those in favor, aye.
discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's
Okay.
approved. Second item is the policy review. The policies for the LDC mirror the policies that we have adopted for the Riverhead IDA. They include the real property disposition, procurement, board responsibilities, code of ethics, whistleblower, bylaws, time and attendance, mission statement, report on operations, salary and compensation, and defense and indemnification. Does anybody have any questions, concerns? need clarification on any of that. This is an annual
Review.
reapproval, you know, something we do every year.
The ABO just
Before
wants us
the
to make
submission
sure
of
that
the
we're
Paris.
keeping our eye on our policies.
Right.
And some of them are annual reports. The report on operations changes moderately based on the activity of the agency. The mission statement and measure report, we kept consistent. I think we amended a couple of the policies the beginning of last year,
Yes.
which I think I sent in the email. The rest were of no change and no comments from the board when they were sent out.
Right, okay. So are there any other questions, concerns on that? Is there a motion to approve all the policies for the year?
I will make that motion.
Thank you, second.
Tom, second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay.
All right.
And finally, the annual board evaluation. Again, this is something we do for the IDA piece as well. We did discuss those. They mirrored, the evaluation for the LDC mirrored that of the Riverhead IDA, and the recommendations we discussed at the last meeting, where we wanted to just reiterate that people should feel comfortable if they need additional information or want to delay a vote, that they absolutely have every right to do that. And also that Tracy provided us with an outline by month of what our responsibilities are in terms of reporting and getting information to the stakeholders, the town, the county, the school districts, all of that. Everybody got that. So that was a direct result of this board evaluation. So if we could get a motion to accept, I would say.
Accept it.
Accept the results of the board evaluation, that would be great.
I'll make that motion.
Tony,
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Is there a
Those
motion?
annual evaluations, actually, the summaries of them go to the authority budget office.
Oh, as
after-
part of the report, the Paris report? Okay,
Okay.
are there any other items that need to be discussed today? Anybody have any?
Well, did we really cover all business consideration of officers and committees?
That's next, we just
Oh,
have to,
sorry.
if I could get a motion to adjourn the governance committee
Correct.
meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Tony, second? Tom, will you second
Second.
that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and we're out and done.
Now reopen the Economic Job Development Council meeting.
I'll make that
Corporation.
motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
That was, I'm sorry, who was it, Lori and
Me,
Anthony?
Yeah,
At
And
5:57.
that's
okay, now we're on to 10:21.
adjourned at 4 to 6.
Got it.
Do you still got any business?
Yeah, now we're on that consideration of officers that you were
Oh,
talking
yes,
about.
okay. So we need a motion to reopen.
We did that, we
did?
reopened.
Okay. Why don't you just continue, Lori?
I'll make the motion to approve the consideration of officers, 1021.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 1121, consideration of committees.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay. Make a motion to consider the annual audit policies and reports.
Second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No opposed?
And then last, the consideration of submission of Paris, I'd make
I'll
a
correct them.
motion to approve 1321.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
And finally, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, yeah.
Bless you, child, I second.
Ayes all around.
All right, it's approved. We are adjourned at 1 minute to 6.
Ugh,
We did it.
Do I have any of your stuff,
now it's all cleanup.
Lori?